Panda Bluegrass State. This is your two dads.
Your two dads.
Two real dads giving you the real news.
Like Democrats using illegal immigrants for political power. Welcome back to the show. Good morning, everybody. I always change the title like right at the end because I'm just like, no, I care about this more. And now he's got a phone call. Deke's having a morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, everybody. I'm JJ. That is Deacon. This is Your Two Dads here on rumble.com/JJW. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. We meet every single morning, Monday through Friday, to drink coffee and talk about the day's news, culture, politics, video games. Sometimes, look, it's a lot of politics. Sometimes news, science, the science. I run my mouth a lot. I give you my opinions because that's how you get your opinions. They come out of my mouth and into your ears, and that's how the world works. No, it's not. We don't care about your opinions. Okay, your opinions don't come from my mouth, but I think all of our opinions come from each other. We hear people say things, and then you're like, okay, I agree with that, and then that's what you think. What do you think about that, Deke?
I have no idea what the crap you were just saying.
He was on the phone. Anyway, we're gonna have we got a lot of news to talk about today. We're gonna talk about we got this little statement from Democrats over here. I haven't biginated, so I can't see my summary. And oh no, don't be so loud, lady. We got some air travel news. It's raining iPhones, obviously. We talked about the Boeing flight yesterday. And we got some other interesting news. But before we get to any of that, we are going to get to culture. That's how we start our day, Deke. Culture. And Deke's been doing some interesting band yesterday. And I think you're doing them all week long, right?
Yes, all week long. Yes.
What's up with our dilly do there? Look, it's all white.
It don't say. Oh, mine has it, but it doesn't say song of the day on it.
I don't know.
Okay. Whatever. And we're having problems.
Here, I fixed it. I fixed this
one. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Sweet. All right. So this week, if you go to the Discord server over JJ's head over there, you will see a Deke's playlist about halfway down. Click on that, and you'll see a plethora of songs. I'm a 30+ year DJ. I'm a music nerd. I know music. I love music. I like talking about studying history. And all
He's credentialed.
Credentialed. Yes. I have more credentials in music than a lot of record executives have. Okay, so if I tell you something is good, it's probably good, but music is subjective. So I'm trying to give you stuff that you think that I think that JJ might like. And this week,
which is difficult. It's difficult because sometimes you're like, oh, all this amazing stuff, and I'm like, it's a Barbie world, and I'm a Barbie girl.
And I'm glad you said that, because that is a theory of mine that I have given to a couple of bands that I'm like, the music that I prefer is not the music that 90% of the people prefer. The 90% of the people prefer that music that we all are like, oh God, that's a terrible song. They love it. They love it. And so I'm like, look, if you do like Beck did and make a song that you hate, and that everyone loves, you will live off of it for the rest of your life. Beck hates the song Loser, but it's made him who he is.
Right. It's bought him houses, I'm sure.
Slash hates the song. What was their big song? Guns N' Roses' big song, Sweet Child of Mine. Slash hates the song "Sweet Child of Mine." I mean,
really?
He was like, "Yeah, it was a poem about Axl's girlfriend, and it wasn't even."
He's been on stage for 30 years, being like, "I am such a cuck." I'm watching this dude whine about his girl problems. That hoe.
But it made him who he was. It made him who he was. Same with Kurt Cobain. Anyway, the music this week you've never heard. I hope you hear a lot more of it, because it is a local band from my county in my western part of the state of Kentucky. They're called Hollerhead. Look them up on YouTube. Coming Down is the song today. Go to our Discord server, and you'll be able to see the little video that they have of the song.
I need to check it.
Yeah, this one's a
I
good
need to
one.
hear
I
this one.
like the song Yesterday, The Devil's in the Details. This one is more of a kind of an upbeat and it's a good tune. I think you will like it. I hope everybody else does. Please subscribe to them and like all this stuff because like I said, they're just look how many subscribers they have. I don't even know.
Like 1,100, something like that.
Many. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
many.
yeah. They need
Because they're
some.
a
Well,
local
they
band.
got one from me yesterday. Man, right out the gate, this is like, oh, this should be on a jukebox at a bar. If bars have jukeboxes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
immediately, first thing.
Well, they've got
I like it.
1,000. They've got 1,000 subscribers, 1,100 subscribers, 1,100. And so
Wow.
they don't have a
Look.
lot of songs on there, but they have several songs on there. You know, and they're just like I said, a local band.
It takes a lot to grow a YouTube channel, grow an audience, and if that's not what you're doing the whole time, then it could. But it also is a great venue for them to expose themselves to share their music around the world. They maybe they need a promoter. Maybe that's what music labels bring to things. They bring promoters.
Yeah, well, I've got a whole opinion on that. If I've got a whole
they just need a promoter.
Yeah, well, maybe not. Yeah, so check them out, please, and check them out. What I was going to say is they're on Spotify. Check them out on Spotify as well, and give them some plays on there. I would love for my buddy Jeremy, the lead singer and the writer I've known forever, to like look and be like, why in the hell do we have like
a giant spike?
Giant spike. And I don't want to say anything to him. I just want it to happen. I'm not going to be like, that was us. I'm not a credit person like that. I like to stay in the shadows a lot and just do stuff without people
I'm gonna
knowing.
share them on X. I'm gonna share this song on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just love for him to be like, what the hell am I getting all these from? This was great. Just like a little miracle. I like doing that.
Yeah.
All right. There's our song of the day.
Let's talk about the news. Wow. What's up, Deke? How you doing? Hi. He said, "Get away from me." All right. This is not okay. Stop that. Stop playing around. All right.
What's the I'm going to rob a bank beanie on your head today?
It's cold outside, bro. It's like 39 degrees. I took my kids to school.
Wow,
and it's cold.
Colder in Texas than it is in Kentucky. It's 46 right now. Wow.
We got that coastal weather. I don't know. I don't know how the weather works. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that people are changing it. I think it gets cold. It gets cold. It gets warm. It gets cold. It gets warm.
I think people are changing it, but that's a whole nother conspiracy.
You think people are changing the weather?
Conspiracy theories on our. All right, let's get to the news. That's enough crap.
All right, that's the wrong share. Here's the right share. All right. And I'm on the wrong thing there. Okay, good morning. Hey, folks, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, leave comments in the videos, especially when you hear fascinating stuff like this. Deke, I know you're just sitting on Twitter all day long, just scrolling.
That's me.
Especially following End Wokeness, and you see stuff like this. Let's just listen to what this is only not even 30 seconds. Let's just listen to the wise words of Representative Yvette Clarke.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We have a diaspora that can absorb a significant number of these migrants. And I when I hear colleagues talk about, the doors of the inn being closed, no room in the inn, I'm saying, I need more people in my district, but just for redistricting purposes.
What?
And those members could clearly fit here. I'm from
Okay, wait a minute. Can you please play the very beginning of that again?
Absolutely.
Brooklyn, New York. We have a diaspora that can absorb a significant number of.
We have a what? A
diaspora? A diaspora? That's a good question. That's a great question.
I asked Google, and they're like, we don't know.
A dispersion of people spread from their original homeland.
Oh, okay. I must be.
So she's saying we have a bunch of people that aren't from here. Okay. We can certainly absorb more.
See, your Two Dads is educational. You learn new words. Diaspora.
Yeah, diaspora. Okay. I thought she was talking about like confetti or something.
She is living in a fantasy world. And I saw a tweet last night from someone that was, I don't remember if he was visiting New York or what, but he had pictures to accompany it. Remember when we stayed, JJ and I, when we were in New York City for the super secret Marvel Comics tournament we played in. When we were in New York City, we one of those nights, remember, we went to the CVS or whatnot that was close to Times Square a couple of times because we were just off Times Square. And we went in there to CVS to buy like the $16 tea
bottle of water.
Jesus Christ. And so
so expensive.
So this guy had pictures of like a CVS that he had went into, and everything was behind locks. And he was talking about that he had asked the person, and they're like, we get robbed every single day, or not robbed, but shoplifted from every single day from the same people. Those people go in, they get a misdemeanor fine, they get out, they come back. She said, we can't do anything to them unless they are repeat offender that we know. And he was like, everybody talks about San Francisco being like this, and nobody talks about New York being like this. New York is, and I wanted to comment, well, we don't have those problems in southern, Western Kentucky.
Yet. Don't worry, the Biden administration's working on it. They're trying to get them there.
But it just, she's sitting here just spewing lies when the real people are telling you this place is a shithole. It's turning into a shithole.
Yeah.
So it's just once again a prime example of your elected official lying straight to your face.
Well,
in your head, and they're telling you it's rain.
But in this case, she's telling you the truth. In this case, she's telling you the truth. The reason that she wants migrants is because if everybody else gets a bunch of migrants, illegal or not, the fact that there's a warm body there is used in the census to allocate political power. And redistricting. So if everybody else gets migrants and she in her district doesn't, then her district will literally shrink. And that means that the demographic that elected her will shrink, and that means that she might lose her seat. That is the only thing she cares about, and that's the only thing Democrats care about. And if you say, "Oh, this is replacement theory," they will say, "You're a racist. You're a racist." The replacement theory is a conspiracy theory. This woman on screen literally said, "We need more migrants. We can absorb them because that's the only way I can keep my job." So no, she was telling you the truth. She wasn't lying about that.
You're right. You're right. You're right about that. Absolutely.
But New York is terrible. Sorry, if you're watching in New York, get out of New York. It's so bad.
When we were walking down the streets, it's the only time I would ever visit New York City was on Marvel Comics dime.
Yeah.
And we were walking down the streets, and I told JJ, I'm like, New York smells like two smells. Urine and weed. It's like the streets of
unpleasant.
Smell like urine.
It's not good.
Weed. And there's garbage bags everywhere. I mean, right off Times Square, there's garbage bags.
It's just trash, and people are like, hey, you need a CD? No, I've one. What do I play a CD in?
I understand that we were in the worst. Like, you talk to a real New Yorker, and I'm sure there are some absolutely wonderful parts of New York.
Sure.
We just did not have a lot of time, and we were in Touristville.
Yeah.
It's like going to Mexico. It's like going to Cancun and saying, I've been to Mexico. No, you haven't. You've been to America South.
Yeah. We were right there at that Y. That's where we were, right at that, whatever that Y street is, where that one meets the other. You always see it in
Times Square.
Is that Times Square? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Look how much I cared about it. I don't even know where I was.
The only thing JJ and I cared about, we didn't get to see, and that was the
where's the Ghostbusters library?
Ghostbusters firehouse and the library.
Yeah. Oh, the firehouse. Yeah. I really wanted to see that. Okay. So Democrats are that's terrible. I got one before I didn't post this in the notes, but I'm gonna hold off on this. Maybe we'll do this one another day. So let's talk some more politics stuff. We got there was a tweet floating around yesterday that some of the Epstein stuff accused Bill Clinton of having sex videotapes. Prince, what's his name? Not Andrew. Charles. What's the other one? Andrew of having sex tape, and Donald Trump of having a sex videotape. This was It's on the news, and I bet the Democrats were just salivating,
Sir-
like, finally, we will get
Sir
Trump.
Richard Branson.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's what.
So, bye, dear. So far, no such tape exists, and the woman that made the claim that there were these sex tapes, these Epstein sex tapes, she retracted her story in 2019. She said literally, I said that story to make him think that I had something so that I would be safe from him. So the person who alleged to have the Trump sex tape recanted that. Now that means that, oh, maybe there's no Clinton sex tape. Maybe there's no these other people's sex tape.
Possibly.
Maybe.
There is a possibility whether you believe that or not.
Yeah, maybe. So we don't know yet. We'll find out. But I mean, Bill Clinton did have a frequent flyer card for the Lolita Express. So, okay, moving on. We have House Speaker Johnson. I think a couple of days ago I said, Deke, don't worry. The government's not going to shut down. We passed the spending bill.
Good.
I know you were
worried about that.
I know.
I lost
Yeah,
sleep the other
because
night thinking about
because like what could happen? Like first of all, if the government shuts down, then I'm sure some bad things would happen.
Well,
I've never actually seen them.
If there is, and because I was talking to Ashley about this, there's a lot of unseen things that you don't know, that you don't see in certain professions that stop. And because I was saying something one day about the parks, if this happens, the last time, if this happens, this will close and this will close and blah, blah, blah. And she said, yes, but realtors won't be able to access the blah, blah, blah with the government loans and the blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
And she said, and that completely shuts everything down for our side of the business. And I'm like, oh, so there are a lot of things in professional organizations that are affected that you wouldn't think would be government control, that our government control. She educated me. She was like, no, this. And I mean, I didn't realize
I would be interested to learn more about that. But like when banks issue loans, they literally like invent money, like which is they're tapping into the government there. They're just inventing money for you to borrow. They have to have, I think a bank has to have something like, I'm going to just put a number because I don't know what it is. They have to have 10% on hand of whatever they say they're going to invent, right? So if a bank has like $1 million, then they can make loans out for up to $10 million, right? So you can and you can come in, you say, I need a loan for like $500,000 for a house. And the bank's like, okay, we can give that loan out. And you got your little piece of it. So like they're just inventing money out of thin air in debt, in debt. But again, I don't know what I'm talking about. So,
are you a banker?
No, no, I'm not.
Finance?
Yeah. Well,
shut up, black.
Okay. All right. I'm the bad guy. I'm the black hat. I'm the bad guy.
You're the bad guy because you got.
I'm the bad guy. Okay. So
you got an Andy Bashir story, and I
do.
Like looking at this guy's face. I was scrolling down through our little post that we put all our stories.
If it says Kentucky News
governor looking straight like he's cross-eyed.
I want you to explain this to me. So let's talk about it. Okay. Governor Andy Bashir says the GOP's anti-trans ads are an example of hate and anger politics, to which I am saying, what ads? What is he talking about?
The only thing that I know, because I don't watch TV.
Right. I'm not sure what he's talking about.
And I see some of the ads that come up on like, if we do watch Roku or something or YouTube, I see some of those ads during the political season when they spend on those. Andy Bashir, I don't think it was, I know for a fact it probably wasn't Andy Bashir. All right. More than positive that it wasn't Andy Bashir. It was some group, some Democratic group that was running ads talking about, we've never done this, and we've never allowed trans surgeries, and we've never done this to trans people in Kentucky, and we don't do that, and blah, blah, blah. And then some a GOP group spent a bunch of money and was like, what's this, and 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 what's this? If you see this, then what's all these hospital records and all this, and blah, blah, blah. So they put out a bunch of ads.
So he said, Jake Tapper said, I'm just wondering, like, what is an example of a race where this kind of hate and anger politics is used? This is what he's going on about. Andy Bashir saying, oh, we got to stop the hate and anger politics. Okay. So Bashir said, quote, the millions upon millions of anti-trans ads that we saw pitting young kids that are trying to find their way in this world, that regardless of whether our different groups understand what it is, the idea that they would be repeatedly attacked, called names. A group that already struggles on the margins would see that type of negativity directed at it. And when we know it can increase the risk of suicide, it's just wrong. What millions and millions of ads is he talking about?
That's what I was going to say. What millions and millions of ads?
What is he?
I live in Kentucky, and I
don't know what he's
seen
talking about.
millions and millions of ads. And number two, I hate to. This is a dad thing. Will you move the story?
Minimize it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Look at Andy.
Get away, Andy. Other Andy.
There is a very hard truth that these people. I don't want to label them as generational, by a generation, because they're everywhere. And I think they started, they're everywhere. They're in every generation. But there is always going to be a group of people that are assholes. And they are going to make fun of you if you look different, period. If you don't fit to what they think you should look like, they are going to make fun of you. I wasn't really made fun of, but I was picked on in high school because I was the guy that if everyone wore a red shirt, I was wearing the blue shirt. I did not want to conform, even back then. My daughter is, she's got dark hair that she wears down, and she's, really trendy in her certain style, and the kids bark at her now in the school. So there's always going to be people. So if you are a person who thinks you're a different sex and you start dressing like that and wearing, doing that, you're probably going to get that portion of the population that's going to look at you, that's going to oogle at you, that's going to say something, that's going to whisper about you, or it's going to say something to your face, because they are everywhere and you can't stop those people. Whether you're trans, whether you're a geek with tape around his glasses, whether you're an emo girl, whatever you are, a redneck, you're going to get made fun of by someone. Things be better than them and not let it affect us so much.
So for one, Andy Bashir's right that there are, if you're a member of these LGBTQIA two-spirit groups, you have a higher risk of suicide and self-harm. That's true.
Because people make fun of you and you experience this all the time.
Is that true? Or is it the other way around? Are you a member of that group because you have some sort of mental illness or instability and it's pushing you into the margins?
I'm sure that is a fact.
I'm sure that getting bullied maybe exacerbates some things. I'm sure that that's true.
Everybody gets bullied.
Everybody gets bullied. But if you are a man and you put on a dress and you're pretending to be a woman or whatever you have to do, you are demonstrably making a statement to the world about, hey world, look at me. I obviously am dressing differently than I appear. So look at me and pay attention and comment. I mean, you're really inviting people to
this is whole crazy conversation.
Isn't it nuts?
Stupid ass Andy Bashir.
I know. Andy Bashir. And maybe it's just where Andy's watching TV. Like, what station of TV is Andy watching that he's getting millions and millions and millions of anti-trans ads? Because I haven't seen any. You know what I have seen? I've seen Amazon Prime put gay pride banners across the TV where my kids watch cartoons. That's what I've seen. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, for Amazon.
Dane says that he's an adult and he makes fun of LGBTQIAFHLM. All right, Dane. You know what?
I'm okay.
You can.
I'm okay with Dane doing that. That's completely fine.
Dane tuned into this show where we literally read the news and make fun of everything. And now we're going to call out Dane. Dane, you can't make fun of LGBTQIA2 plus two spirits.
Dane. Welcome to
your two dads.
Familiar mindset. Here.
All right. Let's talk about I am not an iPhone user.
Okay. I didn't see where you brought up this story, but I posted it as well a little bit down.
Yeah.
Because the
both.
only reason I'm posting this is I want to call out one of my buddies that watches the show, Joey.
Oh,
and
okay.
And Joey is a buddy that he was one of my best friends back in high school, and we were like brothers. And then he moved to Florida for a long time, and then we've gotten back together. He lives in the area now, so we've just rekindled right back. And he's got an iPhone. And he's always complaining about my Wi-Fi when he comes in here to the radio station. I'm like, dude, we got great Wi-Fi. I got the fastest Wi-Fi around. What are you talking about? He's always, I always poke fun at him. It's like, it's your stupid ass iPhone, and because he always makes fun of my Samsung. He's like, it's your stupid ass Android, blah, blah, blah. And we go back and forth a little with each other. So I saw this story today and I was like, fuck. I gotta post this.
This is good. This is good. I have never once considered owning an iPhone, but I'm like, this is impressive.
That's what Sinister Minister said, was like, this is the best ad for an iPhone ever.
For real.
Well, shit, my Android's not gonna do this, so maybe my buddy Joey is right on something.
So let's give the context. We mentioned a couple days ago, I think it's over the weekend, an entire side of a plane blew off while they were in flight. The door plug.
Blew out.
Because if you're in Alaska and you're flying on an airplane, you're probably going to fly on an airplane where somebody was like, you know what? Instead of an emergency exit, let's use a big Band-Aid and just fill it in.
I just thought of something else right now. You said Alaska, and it just took off. It was like 20 minutes into the flight, right? And everybody, a lot of people, when they go and get on an airplane, they're wearing like comfy clothes, pajama pants and stuff like that, because they're going to be on a flight for a while. So
it's December, dude,
in Alaska.
Yeah. Luckily, your adrenaline is pumping like crazy because you're in your mind you're about to get sucked out of an airplane. So your adrenaline's running, so your blood's pumping, so you're good.
No one got sucked out. The only thing that sucked out was the door, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But one of the other things that got sucked out was some poor schlup's iPhone.
Yeah, a few of them actually, not just one, but this one they found. Okay. Oh, let's get the wrong page. Here we go. iPhone survives 16,000 foot fall after a door plug blows off the Alaska Air Flight 1282. I have a crack in my screen protector of my Samsung phone because it fell off my desk. I mean, this is the back of my phone from when it fell in a driveway one time inside of a case. So iPhone, I've never wanted an iPhone, but 16,000 feet.
Okay, so let me do some science here for you. 16,000 feet sounds like a lot, and it sounds like quite a bit for this story.
It sounds like 5 miles or 3 miles.
But there is a point when you get to terminal velocity when you stop accelerating, or the phone will stop accelerating. So, after about whatever it is, 8,000 feet or something, the phone is not getting, the gravity.
It can't accelerate any faster. I think once you get to 32 feet per second, minus airspeed, minus resistance.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean, it sounds sensationalized but I mean, that is 16,000 feet. So, yeah, that's pretty good. You're right. I have. But
it probably hit trees and branches, so it probably it decelerated on its way down.
That's true. I
mean,
and it could have been cushioned by
I just don't know,
bush or some crap like that. But
maybe it bounced off of a deer. What if it fell and it landed on a poor animal? Okay, that would be terrible. Okay, so. Jonathan Bates discovered a working iPhone that fell 16,000 feet from flight 1282 on Friday. It suffered an explosive decompression event when the door plug blew off the plane. Nobody was injured during the incident, and the iPhone wasn't either. Now, this is a photo of the actual phone. He's got a little bumper thing on it. I think he has a screen. Even the screen protector isn't cracked or anything. And it says right on the phone, Alaska Airlines baggage receipt. So that's some evidence that is the phone that fell from the sky. There was also, let's see. they found the one thing that we were looking for the other day was the plug from the airplane, and they have found that as well.
Yeah.
So, missing door plug that detached from Alaska Airlines plane found in Oregon teacher's backyard. So, I mean, can you imagine going out and letting your dog pee or whatever, and you look across your yard and there's like there's a door to a plane, like, and you're like, you got to be thinking in your mind, like, if that had been like 10 feet over here, I'd have a giant hole in my house, or you know what I mean? Because that thing's probably weighs a couple 100 pounds.
So if you'll read down into this story, it says 2 cell phones apparently belonging to passengers who had been on the plane also have been found, one in the yard and another on the side of the road. At the end of the first full day of the NTSB investigation into the accident on board Alaska Airlines Flight 1282, the agency's chair indicated that some factors were complicating the probe. What are those factors, you ask? I'll tell you. The plane's cockpit voice recorder's record of the event was inadvertently taped over, and at the time, the door plug had not been found. Inadvertently taped over?
Yeah, I read this the other day too. So the cockpit voice recorder, I don't know if this is the black box or not, but apparently the cockpit voice recorder can only record 2 hours of audio, at which time it just starts over and records again. So 2 hours of it. Maybe they need a bigger USB stick. How how small is the USB that it can only hold 2 hours of audio?
I mean,
6 megabytes.
They got a really good deal on the 46 megabyte flash drives. I mean, they
were practically giving these things away. So we're just going to use these.
Use all these. It's not like we have, terabyte drives that are this big.
Dude, I got a Ring doorbell thing, or not Ring, it's Blink, something like that. And I just stuck like a little memory card in it. And then I was like, that's not enough. I need to have more in case, people come by. I want to keep more video clips or whatever. So I looked on Amazon. I was like, how much is it for like a little bit bigger kit? And I found a thing is like, here's a little kit that you plug in the wall, and then you use it to hold your Blink sensor module or whatever. And then you put this USB in it too. 256 gigabytes. It was like $15. And I was like, that seems like a lot. That seems like a cheap USB card. Anyway, maybe Boeing needs some buyers that could find them some more storage devices. All right. So that's the airplane news.
Yeah, there was another story about how they supposedly were just trying to ground those planes earlier or whatnot, but it's just a story.
It was. I mean, these are the same planes. These are the 737 MAX 9, but it feels like it was 10 years ago, but maybe it wasn't 10 years ago. Yeah. That maybe the MAX 8s were the ones where they had something calibrated wrong in the engines, and the engines were literally pulled too hard and they would fall off of the airplane. So these are the same ones they grounded several years ago, or, a generation, but this same brand, the 737.
I've got one here for you.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Just one more thing about this. I heard yesterday that part of this might have to do with DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Apparently, Boeing is real big on DEI. So hiring people based on race quotas rather than math scores.
Gosh, who would have ever thought this would happen?
I don't know. It merits looking into, perhaps. Okay.
I saw this on a lot of places this morning.
Oh, wow. Hold on. We got a comment.
Okay.
We got a comment from a different. Oh, wait. Is this my brother? This can't be my brother. He hasn't been here forever. Maybe it's my brother. Nah, the pilots recorded that crap to cover their butts because they screwed up and would have been caught. Yeah, but how is a pilot? Why would they even go near a plug in an airplane? So I'm not sure that makes sense. But if that's my brother, good morning, Jeremy. Thanks for watching. Okay, go on.
I saw this in a couple of places this morning already. They've done some investigating on some samples of bottled water that you buy in the stores, and they found these little microplastic particles in all these different common brand bottled waters. Their particles are less than a micron in size, but I know, and a lot of people are going to be like, it's just a little bitty, but if you drink enough of it, it forms into something else, and it could cause problems in your body. Human bodies are not supposed to have plastic inside, micro or any. It doesn't matter what it is. So you put these little things in your body, and your body freaks out, and then you have something wrong with your damn body, and you go to the doctor, and he says it's something else. Medicine, it gives you something else. It gives you medicine to something else. You see how this is going? Everyone should buy an ionized water system for their house. Invest in the money and install an ionized water system in your house. And only
what's the ionized? What's that mean?
It ionizes the water. It makes the water to where we are supposed to be able to drink it like was intended, instead of all this shit that we put in it and all this shit that we do to the water. If we used to drink ionized water all the time. You can buy some ionized water in some places, but it's very expensive. It's like $5 a bottle around here just for a bottle of the ionized water. But if you look into ionized water and ionized water systems and put in your house and start drinking only that, and you will notice how much better you feel and how healthier you are.
So plastic is not digestible.
No.
Right, of course. So most of the plastic we ingest probably passes through your system, right? Probably exit, but that doesn't mean all of it does. And you can have like buildups, or I assume, I don't know. I'm not saying this is good. I'm just some facts. I looked this up over here because you brought this story up in my mind. I'm like, well, how much plastic do we drink a day or eat a day? So I found a I guess a post from earth.org. Sounds credible to me. It says
that's the Earth's website. It's .org.
Yeah. Now this is from 2020. We consume a spoonful of plastic a week. A spoonful of plastic. That's a lot of plastic.
Now, whether you believe in this or not, whether you believe in essential oils or not, is beside the point. Lemon essential oil or lemon juice from lemon will eat away plastic. And I had a lot of those essential oil people tell me, get you a bottle of lemon essential oil, the good stuff. Don't get the Walmart brand. Get the good, lemon oil that you can consume, and put a drop. Yeah, he's right.
That's true. That's
exactly
true.
Right. You microwave in a plastic bowl, and you get some of that plastic that goes from that bowl into your food. Absolutely, he's absolutely correct.
And the chemicals that they treat it with, the color they made it with, something they coated it with. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why spaghetti sauce is in glass containers, and it's not in metal containers, is because of one of the chemicals they put in there reacts with the metal. That's what I always heard. I don't know if that's right.
Oh, wow.
Get you some lemon essential oil or lemon juice and start drinking it with your water, whether you like the taste or not, because lemon essential oil, just take a styrofoam cup or a piece of plastic and put lemon essential oil on it. Just put a couple of drops and just set it down and watch it. It just eats it away. It just eats it away. And it's interesting. It's digestible. So when you eat some lemon, it will eat away that plastic.
That's interesting.
That's what the kooky essential oil people always told me. And what do they know? They're kooky.
Yeah, they are kooky.
The one lady that told me that used essential oils, she lived to be like 99. She just died last year. I'm not making that up. She was 98 or 99.
All right, we got some more
oils for like 40 years.
Okay, before we get a link to Deacon's essential oil page.
We've got so many tablets that we don't do that.
Before that, we got some more science coming at you. Guys, the United States is gonna go back to the moon. Deke?
You say back to the moon?
Back to the moon. We've been to the moon before.
Back to the moon.
How else would you know that it's a megastructure that's hollow?
Did you turn on your double voice all of a sudden since we're going sci-fi? You went.
No, am I sounding wonky?
You sound like a robot.
I haven't done anything.
I know. It's all right. You sound good. I can still understand you. You sound fine. You sound
sorry, folks. I haven't. When did that happen? Did it just start
when you started talking about the moon?
I haven't done anything.
So the aliens know that we're talking about them, and they're messing with your audio.
Hold on.
What more proof do you need?
The truth is out there.
Okay. The moon landing is being attempted by a private company. However, it appears doomed. Yeah. So oh boy. They say private company. They must not mean X, because X always posts when they blow up their own rockets. The first moon landing attempt in more than 50 years appears doomed after a private company's spacecraft developed a critical fuel leak just hours after launch. Pittsburgh-based Astrobotic Technology managed to orient its lander toward the sun so the solar panels could collect sunlight and charge the battery as a special team assessed the status of what was termed a failure in the propulsion system. So I have never heard of Astrobotic Technology. And if I was thinking like, hey, we should go back to the moon, my first thought would be like, maybe we should call Elon, or maybe AWS with their giant penis rockets, Amazon, or maybe NASA. But apparently there's this other company that makes rockets. Critical fuel leaks.
Technology was founded by Carnegie Mellon University and a professor with the goal of winning the Google Lunar X Prize. It's based out of Pennsylvania. Their first launch occurred yesterday, carrying the company's first onboard flight, blah, 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 blah. NASA will pay Astrobotic almost $200 million to take the Viper rover to the moon, targeting a landing of November of this year. The Viper rover, the Volatiles Investigating Polar Exploration rover, was developed by the NASA, and they're going to the lunar South Pole region, especially by mapping the distribution of concentrations of water and ice.
Oh, dude, I think I see a problem.
Yeah,
I think I see the problem. I checked their website to kind of look the company over, and it does not appear they have enough equity or inclusion in this photograph. This looks like a lot of, that could be. Yeah, maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So going to the moon on your 2024 apocalyptic bingo card. I
don't know. Well, you know what? There was a story the other day, not exactly related. There's a story related the other day that I don't know that we got to because it was on the weekend. There is going to be an asteroid 1,000 feet wide that passes within 20,000 feet of the Earth pretty soon. The moon is 250,000 miles from the Earth, so it's going to be 10 times closer to the Earth than the moon. So I would think that maybe we would get hit by an asteroid before we get back to the moon. Especially since, didn't China send a drone to the moon and it crashed? Like that happened, right? And then
India did.
Oh, India crashed it?
Russia did. India landed one. China's been breeding moon worms for a long time.
Moon worms?
Yeah, moon worms.
Moon worms.
Look it up.
Seriously?
I'm not making this up. They have been.
We're looking that up right now.
On the moon.
We're looking that up right now.
All right, I've got
Chinese moon worms.
Yeah. I remember reading that story that the Chinese were breeding worms on the moon to see how they worked in that atmosphere and that gravity.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I think this is going to require some looking.
All right, move this story. I got another one for your apocalyptic 2024 bingo card.
Sure.
I bet you did not have this on the list, so that you cannot cross this one off. But did you have carnivorous frogs in the United States on your bingo card?
Carnivorous frogs.
Gosh. Yeah, this invasive species of carnivorous tree frogs that feed on native wildlife are now breeding in Georgia. And biologists say that they could grow in size by the next couple of years and completely take over the United States by the year 2030 is what oh no, that's not what the story says. They're from Cuba. The Cuban tree frogs can reach 5.5 inches long, big enough to cover most of an adult human's hand, and much larger than any other of Georgia's native tree frogs. And the frogs will eat anything they can put in their mouth, from insects and lizards to other tree frogs and even small rodents.
Wow. We should stick those on the murder hornets.
Hey, I mean, it'll eat anything.
Aren't frogs carnivorous anyway? What is it called if you eat bugs? Like is that not carnivore?
I don't know.
Don't all frogs eat bugs? Well, if you see some people in Georgia walking around without a hand or with a frog attached and they haven't figured out to take it off,
it's a carnivorous tree frog.
It's carnivorous tree frogs. All right, I think
I got one more going to at the end of the show. Well, sometimes we'll talk about video games and whatnot. And we talked earlier and a couple of months ago about The Last of Us. Remember the Netflix?
Yes,
doing the movies now and shows based on video games. And I have had people in the past tell me that, oh man, video games have great stories. I mean, Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2 are one of the best Western stories I've ever seen, and experienced. My ex-wife used to like to watch me play Final Fantasy X because the story was so good. So Sony has just revealed new details about a couple more that they are going to incorporate into movies and TV shows: God of War, Gravity Rush, and Horizons. No, I'm not.
I don't know what those other two are. I played God of War, but it was like a million years ago. Yeah. He's the guy with the two axe things, right?
Yeah. And there was even a small shout out to previously announced live action Legend of Zelda film, which will be distributed by Sony Pictures. Now, between me and you, I don't know why in the hell they haven't done a Legend of Zelda film before, because that is just printing money. That is literally printing money.
It probably would be. Well, I don't know.
Is it many still Legend of Zelda fans out there are, and they start at 46. They start at 50 years old and go down, because all these kids love playing Breath of the Wild today. And when we were kids, we played the original Legend of Zelda.
So I've only played Legend of Zelda, the one you're talking about, the original one, for like 5 minutes because I didn't have a Nintendo or whatever. So I don't know. I know that Legend of Zelda is popular and I'm aware of it, but I don't even know. Isn't the main character not called Zelda? It's Link, right?
Link is the boy. Yeah.
Zelda's
the princess.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I was never sure if Link was a boy or a girl. Might be appropriate. You mentioned the Last of Us, which they did adapt into a TV show, and it was really, really good. I thought it was really, really good. I don't think you've seen it. You don't have HBO.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's really good. The video game, though, I think in the sequel to the video game, it got a lot of heat because they took the young girl, female protagonist of the first game, and they made her older, and then the father figure character, I don't know their names. I think he gets killed in the game, or he kills someone, and then the person. Anyway, he ends up getting killed, but the little girl grows up and to be like 20 years old and is basically like a trans man, and like they literally make her like super, super masculine, and a lot of people made fun of it. And Governor Andy Beshear was really calling out how people shouldn't be making fun of that game. It'll make people feel bullied.
You gotta bring up Andy Beshear again. What are you doing?
It's a callback. That's a callback joke. Let me explain how humor works.
Okay, looky there. Look at the time. Goodness gracious. My watch is stopped.
All right. Hey, Deke, at the end of the show, folks, thanks for showing up today. We love it when you hang out with us and chat and read the news. And you can even send us news articles if you want. Join our Discord server. I don't know where the link is. It's in the description below.
I got a chat from a personal friend listener, Joey, and he said,
"Hey, Joey,
we'll talk about this tomorrow. This is called a teaser." California are hiring illegal immigrants as police officers and allowing them to carry firearms. So we'll get to the bottom of that.
Why not?
Tomorrow's exciting episode of Your Two Dads.
Why not? The regular Americans don't want to be cops anymore. So let's let the migrants police the border and everything.
Let's lay off. Today is Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, so let's we'll talk about the cops tomorrow. We appreciate our law enforcement listeners because we have at least
we do, including the federal government. Taxes coming up soon, Deke. You're gonna have to do taxes in a month or two. All right, folks. At the end of the show, every single day we do dad jokes because this is Your Two Dads. So, Deke, here's my joke. You ready?
Yeah.
What is brown and sticky?
A stick.
You suck. Hate you.
We really need to get you some better jokes.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at a bunch. I was at Five Below shopping for my daughters last week. And
there was for dad jokes in freaking consignment stores. There's this cool thing called the intranet, the wide world of webs.
No. I think it should be on paper. All right, go on.
The sky was looking ominous yesterday, so I asked Siri, "Surely it's not going to rain today?" And she replied, "Yes, it is. And don't call me Shirley." That was when I realized that I had left my phone on airplane mode.
Oh, yes. All right. That's
my
great.
Favorite movie of all time.
Leslie Nielsen was the
number one favorite movie of all time, Airplane. If you ask me what your favorite movie of all time is, I always respond Airplane. It's my favorite. All right.
I lost the outro. But I'm not sure this is going to work. We'll find out. It didn't. It's black. I don't know why it's black. Okay, I fixed it. Oh, there it is. I don't know why it was black. Thanks, Restream. We do this from Restream. These guys are great. They make it extra fun to change things every single day. Oh, like, subscribe.